4-Gate Whiskey Company Batch 22 Indiana Foundation 10-year MGP cast strength bourbon, non-chill filtered. What more can you say about this? This is a bottle that I have been super excited for and looking forward to doing the review of it on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. So Indiana Foundation from 4-Gate Whiskey Company Batch 22. This is a bottle that I've been waiting for quite some time. We all know that a lot of the older stock is coming and going, and that made this bottle for me at least much more of a bottle that I wanted to seek out, make sure I got my hands on it, and I did, and really excited to kind of do today's review and let you kind of know what a little bit of maybe this older stock of MGP kind of tastes like. It's not something that we see a lot of and get a chance to taste a lot of it, especially at cast strength, non-chill filtered, all of that. So why don't we go ahead and kind of dive into today's review. So again, this is the 4-Gate Batch 22 Indiana Foundation. This is coming in at a proof of 108.8 proof, mash bill 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. It is age stated as it says on the bottle, age 10 years. And the MSRP on this is coming in at right around $200. Color-wise, as you can see, you'd expect it to be this deep, kind of rich mahogany, almost a reddish kind of hue to it. Move the whiskey around the glass. Again, non-chill filtered, beautiful oils on the glass. Love to see that. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the nose. So, first out of the gate, what I'm getting is this really rich, like fresh, warm caramel note. Some really nice kind of brown sugars that are there. Maybe even a touch of like a molasses that's on it as well. Some of the dark fruits, it's almost like a liquor soaked like dark fruit. There's something that's very concentrate about like this red fruit. I'll say like a dark, like maybe like a dark raisin, something like that. Definitely a little bit of like a cherry note. And another thing I'll say, there's this really nice like slight rickhouse kind of notes that you're pulling out. So like if you've been in a rickhouse and you've drawn whiskey from a barrel, it's like being in the rickhouse. There's something about that old kind of oak, really nice caramels, vanillas, just that everything that you get from when you're standing inside that rickhouse. Yeah, nice rich kind of like sweet oak that's there. It's not over oaked at all. Like it's just like almost pulled or batched at the right time without it being over oaked. Some kind of like orange peel, something like that. Yeah, it's very kind of classic MGP, but with that extra little kind of aged funk on it. You're getting this richness or this depth that you don't always get from even an MGP that's 3, maybe 4 years younger. This is now just amped up that much more. I'll even say a little bit of a touch of mint. All right, more importantly, let's see how this one's going to taste. Cheers, guys. Okay, so stick with me here. So as my buddy Jason from the Mash and Drum will say, this leads for me like right away, this butter pecan kind of note. I'm not trying to steal that from him or anything like that. This is just that flavor. If you've had that butter pecan ice cream, like right away, that's what comes to mind like immediately. Quickly following is like I got on the nose early on was this rich, like warm, like kind of caramel note. There's just this richness, there's a depth to it. You do get some of that still, those nice vanillas. Again, that rich kind of warm caramel note. Great baking spice on it. Really nice oak that's there, sweet oak. Very, very like balanced, very approachable. There's a great mouthfeel. Fairly oily, not overly oily or as oily as I was maybe hoping it would be, but it's still coating the palate pretty well. You know, also I'll say there's a little bit of, again, in addition to that rickhouse effect, and what I mean by that sometimes is there's also this like barrel char. So as you're you know, thieving a barrel. You know, a lot of times you pull that whiskey out, put it in the glass, and you've got some of that barrel char, some of the residue that's there. Really, really enjoy that. And again, that's coming from nothing but age. Age is what's doing that to this bourbon. Yeah, in addition, like again, like I got on the nose before, there's a little bit more of that orange and kind of an orange vanilla combo, like maybe an orange creamsicle. One of the other things I'll say about this is there's a great coffee note. There's this almost like fresh ground, like dark roast coffee. There's a lot of just that richness, intenseness, beautiful, beautiful whiskey. Yeah, definitely, again, like the dark fruits like I was getting. So in addition to some of that orange vanilla, there's the dark fruit component to it as well. And one of the things, or a couple of things that are kind of standing out for me are more of like a raisin, a slight kind of cherry note, more of like a Luxardo cherry. There's just that richness that you get from a Luxardo cherry. Yeah, I just love that. It reminds me of that older rickhouse profile. Very approachable, very drinkable. Absolutely love how this is setting up. I've had a few pours of this so far, and it's really starting to kind of open up very, very nicely. So I wanted to try it immediately when I got it, tried it kind of a neck pour, drank that just to enjoy it, and now kind of starting to let this thing develop a little bit more. On the back end of it, in finish, there's maybe a hint of like a black pepper, a little bit of that mint that kind of carries over. But the one thing that's kind of remained tried and true throughout is just that older style MGP profile that you get. Again, that we're not all overly familiar with, but there's definitely that component to it. You know, again, you've got the rich caramels, vanillas, great baking spice on it. Fantastic sweet oak that's there as well. That nice orange and vanilla combo, or that kind of an orange-sicle, something along those lines. But it's a really fantastic, very, very easy sipping bourbon. So my recommendation is, if you can find it and when it becomes available, I know there are only a handful of states that it's going to be actually available in. There are some online retailers, Bourbon Outfitters, Sealbox, that you might be able to find it when it releases. But I would say for what this is, 10-year, cast strength, MGP, non-chill filtered, for me, that $200 price point is worth paying for, just because there's not a lot of that's out there. So there you have it. I hope that this helped. And if you're one of the lucky ones that got your hands on a bottle, make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Are you kind of getting some of the same things I am? Love to hear your guys' feedback. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me, you can on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places at My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to help support the channel and become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, make sure you check out my Patreon link in the description below. So guys, thanks again. And remember, as always, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.